One of your biggest critics has been, and I'm surprised about this,
Me too.
Wayne Rooney,
For example,
who you played with for many years very successfully and were good friends with him. And yet all this year, 3 or 4 times, he's come out and attacked you in the media.
Pierce, I don't understand. You should ask this question to him, but I don't know. I don't know why he criticized me so bad, or
Is it jealousy as well, perhaps, that you're still playing and still in the Man United red
probably
shirt?
because he finished his career with 30s. So I'm still playing high level. I'm not gonna say that I'm looking better than him, which is true, but but
that is inarguable. I mean, there's no contest.
It's hard to listen that kind of criticize and negative about people who play with you. For example, Gary Neville as well.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Neville, you blanked him the other day.
Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. And as you know, we don't even need to discuss or tell you what the situation is. Manchester United and Ronaldo seem to have officially been divorced. It all came out from an interview done with Piers Morgan in London. The interview was done recently, but snippets were released yesterday after United's victory over Fulham after new boy wonder Garnacho scored the winner. But that sign has been taken away from that and now focused on Cristiano Ronaldo, Man United's legendary player. But we're going to decipher and go into some of the snippets that have been released so far, and what we as United fans perceive is going to divide fan base. People, you have the loyal Ronaldo fans, and you have the non-Ronaldo people are going to say, "Get out of my club." Okay, it's easy to say, "Get out of my club," but there are so many layers we still don't know. The full thing will come out on Wednesday. But all Piers Morgan has done is drop you little snippets. Everyone scramble, drop another few snippets. Everyone scramble. Joining me today is Houston Red Army, Louis. Louis, welcome to the show, brother. You good?
What's going on, Tim?
I love your optimism. I love your optimism. Bring it on, bring it on. Right, you were as a United fan, you saw what happened. United had a spectacular win by new boy wonder, Garnacho, scoring the last minute.
Yeah,
United
and goal,
really
man.
needed 3 points.
And what a goal! I think what excites people about Garnacho is not only is he an incredibly skillful player, I think he has the attitude of the old United, doesn't he? You know,
Yep.
stoppage time winners. That's what makes us United. You know, not giving up, fighting till the last blast of the whistle. You know, so for him to get that goal laid on, and even his previous assist that he had gotten, you know, he's doing wonders, man, and I hope we protect him, and I hope we really nurture that development, because I would like to see him stay long term.
People need to ask. People want him. Is this the new Ronaldo?
Hard to say, isn't it? It's definitely. I mean, it definitely gives us.
Or is it a case of there's only one Ronaldo?
Oh, very true, right? There's only one Ronaldo, but definitely, you know, we haven't been excited for a young talent like since Ronaldo, right? Since the boy who was afraid to get his hair messed up, as the commentators used to say, right? Who proved them wrong. He is that, I think, could be a generational talent. I think he is that capable. However, as we have seen with certain other young United talents, if those things are not nurtured, it can go a little wayward, can it?
There you go.
Then you start getting dropped from England, breaking COVID regulations.
Yep. yeah, and there you go. Overhyped. You now think you're better than you actually are, and you're believing the hype and living in this little bubble till reality hits. And when the reality hits, the press, the media will bring you right down. Depression sets in, mental health, and it's beginning of the end. But I think, like the word you use the word there, nurture. He has to be nurtured very well, because apparently he does have some discipline problems. He turns up late to training. You know, at that young age, you need to be on point. You need to be on point.
Yeah.
There was a situation when Ronaldo first started. His father had just passed, and you know, Ferguson stepped in as his, you know, as his father figure. Tevez said he came to training once at 8 o'clock. He thought it was early. Ronaldo was there at 7. He said, right, the next day he came and said Ronaldo was there at 6. He said, what kind of human being is this?
Look,
so is the dedication. Ruud van Nistelrooy said, at the time when because Ronaldo joined United in 2004, Ruud van Nistelrooy joined United in 2002. He said when he first met Ronaldo, he couldn't stand him because he doesn't cross, he's overstepping. He would dribble the guy 3 more times before. He said by the time the guys, people already covered me. I can't score anymore.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo told him, one day I'm gonna be the greatest player in the world. Ruud van Nistelrooy told him, whatever, little boy talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is the attitude of a young footballer, isn't it? You know, they want to be rock stars. You know, they want the accolades, they want the status, they want their name to be remembered. Cristiano Ronaldo is a player who did have some kind of, you know, he had some issues early on. And he had the greatest coach in the world to be able to take him under his wing and say, hey, dude, you could be great, but you need to chill the fuck out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know if Ten Hag can be that for Garnacho. I rate Ten Hag very, very highly as a footballing manager. I think he is a footballing genius. I don't know what he's like personally. Right. You know what I mean? So Ronaldo will always be that legend. You know what I mean? He will always be that winner. That hunger, that mentality is not matched by anyone. You know, people used to talk about Jordan, Kobe, these types of players that accepted no foolishness, that accepted no, no dropping of standards or these kinds of things. Those type of humans, those type of individuals are, you know, they're something to be idolized, and there's something to definitely aspire to. But at the end of the day, they are humans, aren't they?
Right. I heard Jordan when at some point in his career, when he was with Chicago Bulls, started to criticize the system and this and that. I'm not a basketball player, so I really don't know. I wasn't in America at the time, so I really didn't know much about this. From what I've researched, he did criticize the coaching. This was a guy who had already got 4 rings up to that point, which is equivalent to about 4 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, right?
And at that point, you have a platform because of who you are. It's like you can talk the talk because you walk the walk.
Right.
If you're not performing and you're a mediocre player, who gives you a platform to? Even Rio Ferdinand said today, he players like him are players. He said, but when you're going to the Ronaldo level, he said it's on another level. He said he was telling Carragher, I've been in the dressing room, I played with this guy. It's on another level.
Yeah.
And their status is not the level his status is.
Yeah.
He said, exactly. So when they're asking and take the standards in a certain place are low, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I saw Real Madrid's training. You know those things for doing free kicks, those kind of things like
mannequins, right?
Real Madrid had this thing whereby the ground drops as the ball's coming in to raise up again. I'm like, God damn, this is technology.
Right.
I'm thinking
no, man, it's like it. I mean, I remember there was an interview. Oh God, who was it? I can't remember now, but he basically said he's like, I know exactly how he does it. He's like, I could tell you exactly how he does it. Could I do it? Never in a million years. You know what I mean? And look, I will say this so we can kind of really start to kind of unpack what this interview has said and things that have kind of come out. What Ronaldo has done with this interview and where I think a lot of the divisiveness has come from, the divisiveness is people are so upset they say, oh well, he disrespected Manchester United. And you goddamn right, he disrespected Manchester United, because unfortunately we are in an era where Manchester United needs disrespecting. And to your point, he is a caliber of player that has every right to disrespect the club. I'm not saying that he is bigger than the club, because no one is bigger than the club.
No.
But if you love something, if you want the best for something, you have to be open, you have to be honest, and you have to be fucking brutal. You can't, if your kid is screwing up, skipping school, hanging out with the wrong crowd and throwing his life away, You know, do you say, oh, well, I love him, so I'm not going to say anything? Or do you give him a smack above the head and say, hey, you know, time to shape up, you know? And I think that's really what Ronaldo has done here. When someone comes in and he says, when I was 20 years old, I worked out on the same equipment that is in this room. What in God's name are we doing? What are we doing? Are we Manchester United? Are we the greatest club the world has ever known? Because I still think so. Still one of the biggest fan bases worldwide. Some of them, you know, one of the most winningest clubs in England, which is the hardest, most competitive league in the world, hands down. There is no arguing. What the Glazers have done is completely abysmal, and it needs to be called out. And it needed someone of a high caliber to call it out. Rangnick, as a coach, is extremely high caliber. As someone who develops organizations from an organizational standpoint, is a high caliber. But he is not as infamous as someone like a Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, you know, he has had his successes, but he is very much a background type person. So when Rangnick says this club is a failure and it needs open heart surgery, everybody was like, whoa, that's crazy. But it died. It went away.
They pushed him out.
They pushed him out. And when someone of Cristiano Ronaldo's caliber comes in and says, hey, this is failure, that we will never win this way. And now he's the villain. How is he the villain? It wasn't him that decided not to update the facilities, to fix Old Trafford, to fix Carrington, to fix all of these problems within the club. It was not him that did that. It was the Glazers that did that, and it had to be called out. And I will say this before I see Mans just jumped in, so we'll let him be introduced. But
Joe,
I will say this. You know, God damn it, Joe, you messed up my point there. but look, ultimately, where this is headed is, I mean, it's not good, but what I think people also forget is that Cristiano Ronaldo is a human being. He is a human being that has gone through a lot, especially in this last year. And instead of meeting him with vitriol, I think he needs to be met with some grace, because he has done the job that fans have been crying out for the last 10 years, which is to expose an ownership that does not care about this club, and that is letting it go to the dogs, essentially. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, brother.
Joe, welcome, Houston Red Army. Joe, the positives man, the soul man. Joe, welcome to the show, mate.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's up?
Not much. We're just talking about Ronaldo versus Man United. The divorce is literally imminent. There's no way this marriage is done. So I want to quickly read out what Man United have said. They have come back from what Ronaldo and Piers Morgan released on Sunday. What they did was, I clarified a lot of people, the interview wasn't done yesterday. That interview was done a few weeks ago, a few weeks back. Okay. It was just dropped yesterday as snippets. The real premiere is on Wednesday. So what Piers Morgan is giving you little bits to scramble with. It dropped a few more bits today. It will drop a few more bits on Tuesday, then Wednesday, the full grenade will be dropped. That's what it is. So everybody's scrambling and trying to buy TV rights and how much. This is a business here. Social media is on fire. And with Ronaldo and Manchester, think about it, a famous player and a famous club. It's a party. But it's going to end. Everybody, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the other side. It's done. This relationship is done. I'm not going to read out what Man United said today. The club will consider its response after the full facts have been established. So they're waiting till everything comes out on Wednesday, then they respond. Our focus remains on preparing for the second half of the season and continuing the momentum, belief, and togetherness being built among the players, managers, staff, and fans. Which is very nice and sweet. Oh, that's beautiful. I get it. But, Joe, as you saw, a small grenade was released yesterday. You're a military guy, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't release the rocket launcher just yet. Just dropped a little.
I didn't know that, Joe. Thank you for your service. Happy
The
belated.
veteran.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, man. I mean, I just hope while they, get the full facts, if you go to Old Trafford, if you go into their locker room, Cristiano's nameplate better not be up there, man. That's all I'm saying.
Here we go.
That's all I'm saying.
Here we
because
go.
Nameplate. He's not play. I think he's played his last. He's not coming back. He's done.
Oh,
but you cannot erase him out of the history of the club. It's impossible.
No, I'm just talking about in the locker room where they hang up his jersey, where he puts his stuff.
No, he's done. He's done. He's done.
Okay, so yes, we do have to wait for the rest of the stuff to come out, but from the stuff that's already came out, I mean, the only way for us to not start acting now would be if like Piers Morgan did a mad thing and like the clips that he put up was like put out of context. I mean, it's clear to what he was saying.
I mean, that is Piers Morgan's MO, is it not?
That's true. See, that's a weird thing about this. Everything about this decision.
He chose an interesting journalist to go with. Let's put it that way.
Everything about his decision making in the last 2 weeks has been terrible, Cristiano. Because check it out. If he did this joint a couple of weeks ago, right? A few weeks ago, this would be like the Tottenham game would have been really fresh, right? He probably did it after that, right? Ten Hag punished him during the Chelsea game, but Ten Hag then brought him back into the team, starting in multiple games. Wouldn't it be crazy if he felt a certain way about the team and Ten Hag at a time, but then like while Piers Morgan was holding on to the tape, like the team kind of like embraced him and he was given the chance. He was given the chances that he was crying about in the video that he just made a couple of weeks ago. So now it makes it, because like it makes him look like a fool, because he's saying that, he hasn't been given a chance. He's been trying to get pushed out. Yo, he more than anyone knows the only person that can push him out of that team is himself. If Cristiano Ronaldo balls out of control and he produces, there's no way this fan base is gonna let him get sold. There's no fucking way. But the thing is, we are seeing it with our eyes. We try to ignore it last season, but we're seeing it clear. I try to ignore it. I said it a couple of times, but I try to ignore it, that the team played better with Cavani on the pitch, despite the fact that Ronaldo was scoring goals. I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you. And now he's lost a step or two. And it's so unfortunate that he has chosen this route to exit the club. I get it. Under the guise of, he's trying to save the club. There's no way you can be Cristiano Ronaldo and not see, if you truly know football, you truly watch our games. Cristiano Ronaldo had to watch a few of our games where he didn't start and was like, we're moving kind of saucy. Come on now. If he can't see that, then come on. Come on, bro.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, Joe, Louis.
Let me ask you.
Rebuttal what his Joe's argument is.
In regards to how we've been playing in those kinds of things. What position are we currently on the table, Joe?
5th.
What European competition are we currently in, Joe?
Europa League.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough for what?
If someone is trying to say, oh, he's throwing a fit because we play better without him, we're not winning shit, Joe. And I think what his point ultimately has been is we will not win shit until this ownership is gone and there are extreme drastic changes that need to be made. Like, look, I think what we were talking about before you jumped on, like with Garnacho being overshadowed a bit by this interview, right? Because he had an amazing game, and it's unfortunate because clearly that wasn't the intention. It
wasn't.
I mean, maybe for Pierce Morgan, but Ronaldo had nothing to do with the release date. I mean, you know,
I would imagine that was his Arsenal
nothing
side.
to do with that. That's a Pierce Morgan thing to do, and frankly, it's something that he would do because you know Pierce Morgan is that kind of guy. But
and that guy was specifically sought out by Cristiano Ronaldo to do this interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does go back to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Here's
that's the person you chose to do this interview with.
Here's the thing, though. You know, you trying to say that you know that he's upset about his playing time, this, that, and the other. It goes so far beyond that. And it's clear by this interview that it goes so far beyond that. And again, we don't know everything that was said. And did he do it in the absolute best way? Of course he didn't. I'm not going to say that everything Cristiano Ronaldo said was spot on and he was absolutely correct, because he wasn't on a few things from my perspective. But I mean, this is someone who loves this fan base, who loves this club and what it stands for and what it represents. And frankly, we're in an era where that's not being represented anymore. We're not being successful. We've been successful in a couple of games and we've played a nice style a couple of times. We still got spanked. How many times have we lost by more than 4 goals this season? You know, and
I think once.
And you try
Man City 6.
Man City and oh no, what was Tottenham? 4-1? Never mind. Or not Tottenham. Who did we lose 4-1 to?
Brentford 4-0.
Even fucking worse. Jesus. It's so easy to say, oh, he's past his prime and he's just lashing out. And
it is very easy to say.
It's very easy to say, but it's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's very superficial. Yes, it's extremely superficial. It doesn't go to the deep root of the problems, which we've been, as a fan base, screaming for 10 years. We've been screaming these things for 10 years. Glaze is out. There's a fucking song about it, for crying.
Yeah.
But so let me jump in there, Louis. I see your points and I see Joe's points.
I'll tell you the irony about those.
You see, this is bigger than just Cristiano Ronaldo.
Of course it is.
So there are so many moving parts. There's Cristiano Ronaldo pissed off with the club. There's Cristiano Ronaldo hoping the club is better than where it is when he came back. There's Cristiano Ronaldo like, you know what, this club ain't going far because of the certain things. Then there's the other issues of the coach don't respect me. Those are all personal ones. But the general one, which really, really affects us. Let me read this. When I came back to this club, I saw things that I saw when I was 21 years old. The guy's now 37, bro. That's 16 years ago.
That is the headline. That is the headline.
I mean,
we will not.
We are Manchester United, bro.
Anything.
How could you still have the same gym equipment from 2004?
He's 2004. Correct.
Look, think about it.
Well,
the gym equipment in 2004, we're still using it in 2022.
Here's where I think the line kind of is because you have a Ranić who says this club can't win anything without open heart surgery. You have a Jose. You have a Mourinho who says that this club cannot win anything, and that Manchester United winning second.
And what happened to all of them?
Was his greatest career success story, was getting second place with Manchester United in the way that it was. But they did it in such a way that it wasn't as damning. It was the PC version of lighting a fire under United, so to speak.
Yeah.
But Ronaldo comes in and it's the dirty version, man. It's the hard-hitting HBO uncut late night. This is the reality. This is the reality. They haven't changed shit, and now they're trying to push me out after I told them my 3-month-old was dying and they wanted me to go to fucking Asia.
Because think about it. When they plan these tours, what are they gaining from these tours? Merchandise sales, releasing of new kits, it's promotion, it's publicity, it's exhibition. Yeah, forget all the training. They're trying to get fan base. It's a business. The tours are more of business to sell shirts, release shirts. We released the white shirt in Australia. What? Think about it. It's money. And when Ronaldo goes there, double the money they're gonna get. When he did not turn up on that preseason, obviously they know how much revenue they lost. Because when they booked those tours, there was a contract. Ronaldo would be on those tours. Yeah, for him not to be there, the club is like, what the fuck? All right, we'll see. You got to look at the business aspect as well, Joe. It's like I said, with Ronaldo, yeah. Is he acting childish? Of course he does. Is he petulant? Yes. In England, we use a term called he's throwing his toys out the pram. It's like throwing a kid just getting pissed off, throwing his stuff out the buggy when it's being pushed because he didn't get a toy. I get it. Ragnick said this. What happened? They shipped him out. Mourinho said this. They shipped him out. Louis van Gaal said it. They shipped him out. Louis van Gaal won a trophy. Mourinho is the last manager to win us a trophy. They shipped them all out. Ole never said a bad word. He never said nothing.
And he got
shipped. He got shipped out because he was fucking up. Ragnick came with no management experience, but building experience. He said, this club needs open heart surgery. This club is not going anywhere. They said, thank you for your services. We think it's better. We want you to support you so you can be the manager of Austrian national team. They shipped him out because they thought he was branding the brand a bad name. Now Ronaldo is not saying anything people haven't said before.
And I think ultimately that as a fan base, I think that we need to push in that direction, which is, it's like let me put it to you this way. It's like those Republicans that said like never Trump, right? And it was this thing that was like, it was so blasphemous to speak out against the party that their careers were ended. You know what I mean? Or if you said anything bad about America being in Iraq, oh, well, you were anti-American. It's not the case. Just because Ronaldo says these things, we ultimately assume that he hates Manchester United and everything that it stands for. That's not true. He's a human being. He's a human being, and he has been thrown through some shit. And now he didn't do it in the most graceful freaking way. Hell no, he didn't. But I think that people are so upset that he's going to derail the success that we've had. We haven't had any success. There's nothing to derail. We have to take a strong look in the mirror as Manchester United and say, God damn, we're a shambles. 5 years without a trophy. And we can't win anything significant in the state that we are in right now, man. I applaud him. That's just facts.
Joe. Yeah. Carry on. Continue.
Okay, first of all, with Ronaldo, right? The irony of him coming out and doing this interview and talking about, the state of the club. One thing you have to understand, the fact that he's there is the most Glazer move ever done, right? So, like, he was not there for football reasons, right? So I don't know if, like, he came to that realization and that's why he decided to move on, right? He's preaching to the converted already. There's nothing he's saying about this club. We had protests. He knows where the fan base are. Yes, the protests have calmed down a little bit, right? But this isn't, nobody's saying nothing about Cristiano Ronaldo's daughter, the situation. If that's what they really did, they didn't believe him, we need to get him on that. That's management. If it's about the facilities, Carrington, yes, we know this. If it's about Old Trafford, we know this. We've been protesting about this for years. So on that aspect, right, the fan base are all down with him. Now, of course, where he crosses the line is that he goes after our current manager. You want to say, yes, we haven't won anything. Well, he's only been there for a couple of months, right? You want to say we're in the Europa League, right? If he wants to play Champions League football, okay, we have ways to get there. We have, with the way we've been playing, we have top 4 in sight if we stay focused. And if we stay even more focused, we can pull off the Europa League. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Look, man, look.
But wait a minute.
Sorry, just because.
Lou, let him finish. Let Joe finish his point. Then you rebuttal.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, that's where he loses us, man. Because the things that we have seen with Ten Hag, with this squad, he is not only, he's breaking a mentality that we have seen fester at this club. The favoritism, the buddy, the lack of accountability for certain players. And Cristiano Ronaldo, he dared to commit the crime of treating Cristiano Ronaldo like everyone else in that squad. That's the disrespect that Cristiano Ronaldo keeps talking about. This man dared to treat him like anybody else, where he feels he should have been treated like Cristiano Ronaldo. That's where, for me, that's where I will say that
loses me. Joe, if you listen to Rio's 5 and Vibe, Rio Ferdinand mentioned this. He said, and it's exactly the point you're making. And he said, the problem is the communication between Erik Ten Hag and Ronaldo, something has broken down somewhere down the middle.
Yeah.
What was probably agreed is not being followed. So Son gets pissed off. He said, even he as a player who played next to him and was in the same dressing room with him, he said, people like Ronaldo, they need to be addressed slightly differently. This is Rio Ferdinand saying this. Look, he said, we are regular players. He said, players like him and Messi, it's a different category. You put them and you address the issues in a different category. You don't put them all in the same pan because they are not in the same category.
Okay, yeah, they're not.
As it looks,
no,
it is
no. Listen. He used to be in a different category. He is no longer in that category.
His name ain't changed.
If you look at his current form, but if you look at his form, see, his name only meant something. We only know CR7 because we know that name goes side by side with goals, with Galacticus. Like it's a fucking, he's an Avenger. But now he's looking like a Ninja Turtle, man.
But look at it. Look at it this way. Last season, there was no Ten Hag. He scored all the goals in one of United's worst teams ever. That team did not even get 60 points. When the analyst took all his goals away, United were 14th on the table. 14th. That does say something. Right. New team, new organization. Everything's brand new now. System change. Different positions. So the players who were there are not there anymore. So the players who played are not there. So he, like you said, Joe, has to get used to the new system, which he is not finding easy. But the arrangement him and Ten Hag must have had, something has broken down somewhere in the middle. But that does not warrant the disrespect to Erik Ten Hag. Yeah, yes, you're Cristiano Ronaldo. He's saying the club the manager doesn't respect me, I don't respect him. But there's one thing some of the senior players said. Even Graham Souness, who no one likes, said this for Ronaldo. He said one of Ten Hag's mistakes was, how dare you bring Cristiano Ronaldo 2 minutes to go? To do the fuck what? 2 minutes to go? Ronaldo? He ain't coming back from injury. He said that was an actual disrespect to Ronaldo. Asking him to come on for 2 minutes to play. I mean, Joe, come on, bro. He's not Donny van der Beek,
I'm gonna
bro.
give it that.
I'm
gonna give you that.
I want to circle
You're right.
back.
This is
just
Graham
for a moment,
Souness.
if I
We all
can.
know Graham Souness hates Man United. But
It's
on
ridiculous.
Talksport today, he finished United and he finished Ten Hag and said the relationship between Ten Hag and Ronaldo, somewhere in the middle, some communication has broken down. What was agreed is not being followed. He even gave an example of when he was a player. He said, yes, players have their egos. There's certain players who can pull it off, certain players can't pull it off. He said Ronaldo could pull it off, but at the same time, the communication between the club, Ronaldo, and the manager somewhere has broken down. He said you cannot bring Ronaldo on 2 minutes to go when your team is losing 2-0 to win what?
So what about all the other games where he started? Did nothing.
Let me let Dewey come in.
Let me circle back just a little bit if I can, and I'm gonna try to bridge the gap here. So basically what you started off saying was that the whole deal with Carrington and Old Trafford and the dilapidation and these kinds of things that the fans know and they understand that these problems and that he's not reaching anybody new. The protests, the
Blazers Out movement,
that kind of thing, it's never been covered the way it has, the way that this interview has been covered. It's trended. It's made the rounds. It's gotten some shares here and there. It has never been explosive as this, and the reason that it is this explosive and the reason that it is this damaging for the club is because who said it. And that is a fact, and that cannot be denied.
It's gonna be. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me again trying to bridge the gap here. And to what Tim said, if we look to last season, or if we look back, who was the player of the year for Manchester United? It was Cristiano Ronaldo. Who was the top goal scorer for Manchester United? It was Cristiano Ronaldo. But not only that, who was the third top goal scorer in the Premier League? The hardest league, the most competitive league in the world. That was Cristiano Ronaldo. You're not going to tell me that 8 months makes him an unfit player. You will not tell me that. You cannot tell me that technically he is incapable, that physically he is incapable, because frankly, that's just not true. Now, it's true that the system is different and it doesn't rely on him. And I do think that is for the better. I think that we have to plan for a life without Cristiano Ronaldo, because ultimately that was always the goal. The disconnect between him and Ten Hag, clearly that is personal. I frankly believe that Ten Hag is the best manager that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson, and that is including Jose Mourinho, who I think is brilliant. I do think that Erik Ten Hag can lead us to new heights. He cannot lead us into the glory that he seeks, which when Delo talks about bringing back the old United. That is impossible with the current conditions that the players suffer under. And Ronaldo did make it very personal, and I think that's where people are upset, is that it was a rallying cry for the club, yes, but again, it was very personal, but because of all of these things that have happened to him since coming to the club. And people say, oh, well, he should have known, yada yada yada. And I in this moment I quote Dave Chappelle, where he said, do you know why Prince came back as the artist formerly known as? And it was the way that these artists, that these celebrities, that these athletes are treated by the powers that be, by the ownership, by the leagues themselves, by the parent companies. These we have to remember that these are human beings, and this is where people, dude, I mean, this is where we're at. He said some major things about an institution that is beloved by the entire world, and it's hard to listen to. But we shove it off as, oh, he's washed up. It's simply not the case. He's not washed up. It's just It is what it is. Like, yeah, he's old and he's not his former self. I'm not saying that he's going to go out to a new club and be the best player that he's ever been. I'm not saying that. But he is holding this club to a standard that it has not been held to. Not talking about games, not talking about players, not talking about results. I'm talking about the standard of an organization that frankly is on its knees.
Do you feel that that also includes Ten Hag?
Yes. Yes, of course it includes Ten Hag. He's part of it. I'm not saying that it means that Ten Hag is a bad manager. That's not what I'm saying. It's that Ten Hag also has to be held to account for what the club as an organization has done and is doing. He's had some success, and what you were alluding to is very short-term resolutions. It's, oh, if we give Eric Ten Hag time and he reaches top 4 and then we're the chap. This is what we've been saying since Ferguson left. Oh, well, if Moyes can get into top, oh, if Van Gaal can get into top 4. Oh, well, why is that the standard of what we can reach as a football club? We're Manchester United, and we've been run into the ground. What people should look at this interview, they should look at this interview, go into the closet, grab the torch, grab the pitchforks, and show up at fucking Glazer's house and demand change.
Be monetized.
That's what should fucking happen. And look, it's monetized. That is the reality. That's the world that we live in. I'm not going to pretend that that's not a part of it. But to just look at it as like, oh, Cristiano did this for himself because he's washed up, that is very superficial. And it ignores a systemic problem that we have had in this football club. You know, it's you know, there is a reason why a player like Ronaldo is on 500 grand a week. You know what I mean? And it is basically so they can say, hey man, we paid you, so shut up. It's the shut up and dribble of LeBron. You know what I mean? It's those kind of moments. It's, you know, we paid you all this money so you can have no say. That's not how reality works. What he's saying is you should have took that 500 quid a week and you should have fucking invested it into the football club, because you haven't. You've been more obsessed about selling my shirts and paying out dividends to yourself than you have about what this club represents and who it's for. How many times in that interview, and just the snippets that we have, because we don't even have the full interview, it's 4 or 5 times within, I think, 4 quotes. I love the fans. The fans are everything to me. This is who I play for. I don't play for myself. I don't play for the Glazers. I play for them, because without them, I would be nothing. That's the reality of the situation, and this is where we are at. This is a rallying cry. Yes, there's a huge fan base that already knows this, but there is a huge fan base that ignores it, and the rest of the world ignores it. And they need to realize that all of football is corrupt and needs to be held to account. And this is a perfect symbol for that change. That is Manchester United.
I think we both just have 2 completely different perception of the videos and the comments that we've just seen. I think both of us are willing to, I guess maybe not ignore, but just keep down one part of the interview while highlighting a separate part, where you find the indictment on the Glazers as the more important aspect of what we've seen, or the snippets that we've seen. I feel like, for me, the slander of our current manager, who, with all the problems, like a lot of the issues, right? If you understand, a lot of issues that we've had is because we've always tried short-term solutions for instant gratification. A lot of our decision making was long-term, right? Or sometimes it could have been perceived as long-term, but if we didn't get short-term results, we scrapped the idea. You can say that about the managers that we had signed. You could say that about Mourinho, where it was like Mourinho, by the 2nd or 3rd season, he's already, you know, most of the time he already has a trophy, right? So, but I feel like Ten Hag is like the first long-term decision this club has made, and the fan base have made that shift, most of them, the majority, that we are backing this guy, right? Cristiano Ronaldo has to be aware of that. This is our, like, we have decided that this is our guy.
Yeah.
And we have been separated too long by certain personalities that come to our club for short-term gain. Cristiano Ronaldo being one of them.
Let me ask
right?
Let me ask you this.
He's one of them.
What?
But I'm just saying, like,
let me read out quickly.
Let me quickly read out. Slandering our
I just want to ask one question.
If you remember, Joe, yeah, go on.
Hold on, one question. What is the consequence for Ten Hag, just like for Ten Hag, as a result of this interview? What is his consequence?
I would imagine if Cristiano has like his own little contingency in the locker room, he basically just busted ass and then just left, right? That stench is gonna still be there. And if Ten Hag starts to falter, that's the, like, he like laid like a couple of seeds, you know, because you can't imagine, like, has he been like that by himself the whole time? Is he the only one that feels like that? Everybody knows there's a Portuguese contingent, right? There's a British contingent, you know. I mean, why even? Why? If he really loved the club, right? Why didn't he recognize that the best thing about the club right now is Ten Hag? I mean, is it? Let me ask you, Louis, is Ten Hag the best thing, the best employee at the club right now? As far as like being able to set the team towards, or the organization where it needs to go.
Employee, maybe. Best thing, no.
What? I mean, as far as
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. So, is he the one to set United on the right direction? And that, I believe that he is. Is he
then
is he the best thing about Manchester United? Of course he is not. And what I think my question was is, what is the consequence for Ten Hag? And okay, maybe it's locker room division, and that's crucial. That's important.
Very.
What is the consequence, rather, though, for the club? And I think that is why I am so focused on that aspect of it. I think Ten Hag will survive.
The consequences, it brings a circus. It brings a circus to Ten Hag's team.
What is not been another about Manchester United, though?
Okay, watch. Okay, how about this? When the full interview comes out, what do you think the media are going to concentrate on? The stuff he says about the Glazers, or the stuff he says about the team?
Of course, about what he says about the team, because that sells more papers.
So,
but because all of us would have heard and seen that full thing, we can like, okay, you guys are just picking up bits to sensationalize and serialize and sell your tabloids. We know that. But yeah, but if then he didn't mention that at all, then I have a problem with that. If he just out there bashing the club, bashing the players, bashing it, then I'm like, all right, this guy's got some serious issues here. But he's talked about so many things. So till we have everything. So let me quickly read a quote. During the bombshell, Ronaldo spoke about the lack of progress since the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson. We know that, right?
Oh, sure.
He said, as Picasso said, you have to destroy to rebuild it. Every act of reaction is first as an act of destruction. What he said, this establishment we are now ain't going anywhere with the people above us. It ain't going anywhere because certain people don't want to admit there's a problem. And one thing in life, when you don't admit there's a problem, you're in denial. You think about it.
The headline.
If you did a poll right now of the fan base and asked, is United better off without the Glazers? How many people do you think are going to say yes? I mean,
99%.
We know this.
Being the Glazers.
But you see,
we know
this is my problem with United fans. This is my problem with United fans. Hold on, Louis. 1 minute. Sorry to cut you off. This is the problem I have with the problem I have with United fans. Just when a little bit of things are looking good, they forgot about the problems with the club.
Thank you.
They forget about the problems. But
No.
only when we're doing badly, when we lost to Brighton, lost to Brentford,
Wait a
Glazers
minute.
out. When we beat
Wait a
Liverpool,
minute.
cricket. We beat
I think-
Arsenal,
Yo,
cricket.
I think, Joe,
We
what I,
beat-
what I think Tim is agreeing with me here, and what I think I want to just to get to you, just to make the point is, yes, he shouldn't have gone after Ten Hag. I agree. I don't think he should.
No,
However,
I feel
Ten Hag
crosses the
cannot
line.
be successful with the ownership that we have. It doesn't matter. He is the long-term solution. Fantastic. It doesn't matter with this ownership. That is the news.
And
that is headline printed.
And I am saying, if that is what he truly wanted to convey, once he sends out that message, the fan base would then have to be united and in looking at our singular target, which is continuing the pressure on the Glazers. But by shitting on the current manager, he is now split the fan base.
Did he? Or did he say he disrespected me, so I have lost respect for him? Is that what he said?
Yo.
Did he say he doesn't know how to manage? Or did he say he disrespected me, so I disrespected him? Is that what he said? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a context to it. But
Let's
at the end of the day, I agree with you. We have to be united towards the common enemy, and the common enemy ain't Ten Hag. And I think that is an insignificant part of the overall message. That is, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Because look, at the end of the day, Ten Hag cannot be successful in this current system. It's impossible. It's impossible. There are personal issues between him and Cristiano Ronaldo. Facts. But it is impossible for him to be successful with this system. Then he should have
just kept it at the system and then kept it going.
It's a tell-all. He's going to talk about everything.
Just shitting on the Glazers would have gotten him out the team. Just shitting on the Glazers would have gotten him out the team.
He had to destroy it to rebuild. Open heart surgery.
Why is he destroying the field part though? Why is it destroying?
Because it all has to come down, bruv. Why are we come down?
Wait a minute.
All of it.
Wait a minute. We're currently. Are you saying we should sack the manager? Are you saying we should sack the manager?
No. He's not talking about sacking the manager. He's talking about.
So what are we talking about?
He's talking about the system Eric Ten Hag is having to work with. All right. I guarantee you now. We all know this is a divorce. It's the divorce. Man after Ronaldo, there's no coming back. So United will now have to dip their hands and buy a striker in January. There is no other way around it.
Thank God.
They haven't got a way around it. So
that's another way Cristiano has saved us. Thank you, Chris.
So we need to buy a striker in January. And also a right back. Will the Glazers spend the money? We have to wait and see.
I would say on the forward, but not the right back.
I really think that they're going to try to make it.
Dalot needs a backup. Dalot needs a backup. Dalot cannot keep playing every week, every game. It's not going to work. He's burnt out. And
Malacia struggled there.
That experiment of a left-footed player on the right wing, on the right back, you saw he struggled. He did a good job, but you could see
he did okay. But
William kept going on his right side.
Yeah,
there's way better wingers than William too.
But he played very well. William, I didn't even know was playing for Fulham. He played a very good job.
That kind of shocked me too when I saw that.
You saw Pereira delivering some decent crosses. Like, God damn.
It's like, who the fuck is this kid?
I know. And you saw Daniel James.
And James, baby.
Yo, you saw how he didn't celebrate, huh?
Yeah, I
don't know why.
I didn't know. I thought he was still at Leeds. I didn't know he wasn't at Leeds.
He is. He's on loan.
Oh, he's on loan. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's still a hollowed club, isn't it? There's still a love there, even though these players have left. You know what I mean? It was a massive respect to the kid to score against a club that did him the way that they did.
Yep.
And
you mean buy him in the first place? What the fuck?
It's not so much buy him in the first place, but I mean let him hang out there when he clearly wasn't ready. It was like what we were talking about with Garnacho. Like, this is a player that has to be nurtured. This is a player that has to be looked after. And if he's not, then how is he supposed to develop?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think there is, you know, I think there's definitely something to say about Dan James' character. Let me put it that way. He's got a great character, you know.
Yeah.
So as it stands now, we all know this marriage is over. We know that for a fact. But what we want to know now is what happens next. How do United go from there? They said they're taking legal action. They gave that beautiful statement, which simply said, we are focused on the next side, the next part of the season. We're going to be togetherness. There's unity. That's all PR. That's lies. That little lies.
That better be recruiting.
That little nice bow. It's beautiful. But will they buy? Because Eric Tan has already dropped hints. This club will need players in January to take us to the next level. Either way.
I don't know.
There is no we will just use the same team to go through to, because Glazers don't like spending in January. They only buy in January when the hands are forced. We need a right back and we need a striker. Martial cannot stay fit for. I hope he stays fit, but I can't see him staying fit for 25 games straight. I can't see it.
Hats off to Ten Hag though for
without a doubt
this Wan-Bissaka situation. I think that he's put Malacia on the right. I think he sat Wan-Bissaka a lot to kind of send that message that it's, hey, I'm not going to use this player. You know what I mean? You're going to pay him regardless, and I'm not going to use him. I think that is him trying to force that hand, right? And now you have another situation where Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, blows up this, you know, blows up the castle, as it were, and now you're kind of forced to buy another striker. I would not put it beyond the Glazers to say to a Ten Hag or to say to just the footballing staff at large, you created this problem, you deal with it, and we're not going to buy. And you have to go through till the summer with what you got, because I think what has been stated, and I think what we continue to say, is that the Glazers don't care about this club, or at least not the footballing portion of it. It is a marketing venture for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely think that they say, well, we're not going to buy a T-shirt selling striker in January, so we're just not going to do it. Like, if you got a Gakpo, like, yeah, that would be phenomenal for us. It's a player that doesn't cost a lot. Yeah, I think he would make somewhat of an impact. He wouldn't be, you know, top goal scorer or anything like that, but he would be a good secondary striker for Martial. He's not going to
the Napoli guy. How much do Napoli want for Oshimi? Does anyone know?
Osimhen is probably going to be like 95 or something, man.
He's going to be high. He's going to be a lot.
That's not January sale. Not a January sale. United will not buy that in January. Not way. That's a summer.
Yeah, no way. You know, Gakpo is something. I think they were asking something like 35 million for him. It wasn't high. It would be a solid January signing, and I frankly would love to see them do it. I just frankly would not put it past them. You know what I mean? I think that they would be like, nah, y'all deal with it. You know, we gotta go buy dividends in the next window, so we gotta go look out for that.
Right, Houston Red Army, the controversial on Bems has just joined us. Bems, can you hear us?
Bems, I think, is in outer space. He's like doing
Bems having a mad technical
technical
difficulties over there.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Bems, the controversial one has joined us. Right, so Bems, where we are is, we've all heard it. Man United, Ronaldo, the marriage for Man United and Ronaldo is over. We know that fact. So what Louis was saying, that Ronaldo has made certain points. Joe is saying, well, we agree. I agree with Joe that bringing in Ten Hag, disrespecting Ten Hag, I think that crosses the line. He's still the manager. You're still under contract at the club. You're saying the manager disrespects you, so he's disrespecting. I think that's childish. But if you look at the other aspects of this situation, which I hope we all look at, is the club is not making no progress. We think there's progress because we're winning games that we should be winning, but now Ragnick said this. We also, he's talking too much. They shipped him out. Mourinho said this. They shipped him out. Van Gaal said this. They shipped him out. Ole never said anything.
Yeah.
And they held
But
on to him as long as they could.
he held on
Yeah.
as long as what he did was use all the players and burn them and make take the task off the bus and keep moving, and everything fell down. Now
Yeah.
Ronaldo is saying everything Mourinho people said, and saying, listen, when I was 18, I came to this club. It's the same gym we still have 14 years ago. This is Manchester United, for crying out loud, not Fulham, not Everton.
Yep.
So these are things we know, but do the Glazers, are they hearing us? I don't know. And with Man United fans, I've realized a little bit of victory, a bit of run, we forget about the protest and just like, you know what? Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm Man United winning, we're good. But that's the problem. You have to still put the pressure to get these people out, because this team, even Arsenal, are looking to win a league title before Man United. I mean, the
Big up
fault
to
of that,
Arteta, man. Jesus Christ, I hate that guy.
the fault of Arsenal winning a league title before Man United is it just makes my stomach turn. But
Shit,
this
let's
is where
forget
we
it.
are. Bems,
Yeah.
over to you.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, when it comes to the Ronaldo situation, I don't like what he said about Erik ten Hag. I don't agree with that, because that's the manager, and Erik ten Hag has actually done a good job for the team so far. You can see the improvement. You can see the players respect him. The players have nothing but good things to say about him, and we have improved. We have improved, but we're not close to where we want to be or where he wants to be. But you can see the improvement. That was the one thing I don't really agree with what Ronaldo said. But everything else Ronaldo said, I have no problem with. I have no problem with what he said about the club, about the Glazers, about like the ex-players are talking stuff about him. He's the one person that is basically putting himself on the line to try and help the club to get to where it needs to be. He's saying what the fans
but
know.
not the one we deserve.
He is the play. He's like, I mean, he knows where United should be. You could tell he's angry, he's pissed off, he feels betrayed that he came here, he was sold a dream and nothing happened. And I mean, it's the same thing Mourinho said, just like you said. Van Gaal said it. Every other manager said it about this club, and he was man enough. He's man enough to just put everything on the line. I'm not one of those fans. I mean, I've been seeing fans saying, "Oh yeah, I mean, he needs to get out of my club. He needs to get out. This is rubbish. This and that." I mean, I'm sorry, man. If you're one of those fans that's saying all that, I look at you as a Glazers in. I'm sorry to say that. That's my opinion. If you
wait a minute,
you
Let him finish.
You can say, like, you can't, like, yes, you can be unhappy about what he said about certain things, but let's be real here. Let's be real. At the end of the day, if you look and listen to everything he said, right? He is opening up. He's someone that's within. He's a current player that is opening up about everything that is going on within that club. No one has done that. And what are we trying to achieve here as United fans? We want our club back. We want the club to be able to compete and be at the top of football.
100%.
And this is the one person in the entire world that has opened up and said everything that's going on in that club. No one else is at the balls to do anything, right? And I think that's only going to benefit us long term. Whether it forces the Glazers to sell, I don't think it forced them to sell immediately, but I think it does shed lights as to what's going on within the club, and it also would make sponsors aware of what's going on, that would it's going to affect their pockets one way or the other. It's going to affect their pockets, and it's just going to put pressure on them. So it's whether they take that and say, okay, well, it's time to leave, or they decide to spend the money to get the club where it needs to be, which I don't think they can even do anyways. That's what I'm looking at for this club, because at the end of the day, I want this club to end. And yes, Ronaldo, he's one of those players that he always wants to be on top. He likes everything being about. I know that. Let's be real, man. When you look at the GOATs of this game, they always want to be on top. They want to win. They're thinking about themselves. That's normal. That's just the way they are.
Yeah.
Right. That I respect that about Ronaldo. Like I said, the only thing that I just didn't like was what he said about Erik ten Hag, because I don't really agree with that.
Thank you,
about what he said.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Joe, you were about to say something about what Ben's mentioned. What was that?
Do you feel that everything that he had said about the Glazers, all the stuff that we know already, we know this, we've protested about it. Do you think all of that stuff, right, is really what people are going to be talking about on Wednesday and so forth? Or do you think people are going to be talking about, the media is going to be pushing the narrative about Cristiano and Erik ten Hag? Do you think it was worth it? Was it worth it, considering what we were doing on the pitch, considering how hard this man has taken it on the chin, right? As far as dropping Maguire, you got your English, your English lovers out there. You got your Maguire lovers out there, right?
Yeah.
Sitting short, like everything that this fan base has been looking at on the pitch and have been crying for our managers to pull the trigger on, dropping certain players that are dead on the pitch, elevating players that are performing on the pitch. That's all we want, changing the mentality of this pitch. Like everything that he was doing as far as managing that team. And this is just his first couple of months. He hasn't had a few couple of windows. He hasn't had the opportunity to get rid of some dead weight. We're hearing this guy's trying to get rid of Maguire this summer. This dude, he's on his way to represent the Three Lions in the World Cup. And he's over here like, when he get back, he out of here.
USA.
Yo,
USA.
What are we talking about?
Don't you start?
No, so Joe,
come on, man.
Wait.
Why like that completely negates everything that he is? It doesn't negate it, but it pours so much sand on that fire. He needed to channel that, like, because I feel like he would have, this club would have benefited more if he just channeled that directly to the Blazers. To the Glazers. To bring up Ten Hag when we see you playing like shit, bro. We see the team playing better without you in the lineup.
No, Joe, I don't like, we're saying the same thing. Like I agree with you when you like with it's not nice what he said about Erik ten Hag, right? I agree with that. Criminal. That's not criminal. That's not nice. I don't agree with with him going against Erik ten Hag. I don't agree with that. But everything else, I agree with.
Everything
and
else,
if I weigh everything and I look at the big picture, if that was the way he was gonna come out, if he had to say what he said about Erik ten Hag, and also say the things about the club, if that was the only way he was gonna let that information out, I am one of those people that would say, okay, I take it the way it is, because in the bigger picture, it gets me closer to where I want to be with the club. If that means him saying what he said about Erik ten Hag, which I don't like, I don't agree with, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a net win.
Yeah, wow. For me, I look at what I'm going to gain in the long run, and I'm going to gain more from what he said about the Glazers than what he said. I don't agree with Ten Hag.
Joe, let me say this quickly. There was something he said. He said Erik ten Hag and some hierarchies want him out the club. What's your take on that?
It's probably
Well,
Monto.
It's probably Mortar. It's probably Morto. What's his name? The CEO, Richard Arnold.
Yep.
One of those guys is definitely one of them for sure.
It's
One of those guys is there.
Because that was a Woodward move. That was a Woodward move.
Exactly. It's
and
one of those guys.
Mitigate it.
Exactly.
Like, see, and that's the thing about it, right? It could be the fact that, right, he's having issues with individuals that see that he was a mistake.
Yeah.
And they're trying to correct that.
I don't necessarily think
nobody.
See, no,
but
listen.
He said they were trying to get him out last
there.
season, though. He said they were trying to get him out last season, and last season he was our best player, though. So because he said they've been trying to get him out last season too. So if you say they're trying to get him out because he wasn't the player he was, but last season he was our best player. So why are you trying to get a player out that was our best player last season?
Okay,
that's not right.
Let me ask you a question. Did we win anything last season?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, no. Let me just
the rest of the team was useless.
I just have a follow-up. If instead of playing, let's say instead of playing Cristiano Ronaldo at his form, right? Yes, last season, right?
Yeah.
If he wasn't in the lineup and the team actually worked on better,
they would be
on the flow.
Place.
No, listen to me. Because the same thing that I saw last season, I am seeing this season. I mentioned it. You wasn't on the podcast earlier.
Yeah.
I mentioned it. This team looks better with Cavani on the pitch, bro. It was the thing. It was clear.
But Cavani was always injured, bro.
But but
Cavani was always injured, and every little thing, he was off to Uruguay. And every time
Cavani was a better option. I'm just saying.
Every time they told him you can't go to Uruguay, he threw a fit. Like, all right, I ain't playing.
What I am saying is, in order for this team to fully appreciate Cristiano Ronaldo, it's going to be a lot harder because we have to get significantly better talent around him for him to be successful at his age. Or instead, just get rid of Cristiano, right? And
so you agree with them getting rid of Cristiano last season? You're okay with them getting rid of him last season?
I would say,
but
not necessarily get rid of him, but
not play him as much.
Because it was clear. I just
okay.
It just play better football without him.
Joe, so last season,
and I loved every moment he gave us.
So Joe, last season you're saying,
gave us, bro.
So you're saying last season United were better off without him. Is that what you're saying? Last season, when they didn't have anybody else who was performing.
Okay, I'll say this. Last season, if we had Ten Hag last season.
No. Forget Ten Hag. No. Not if. There's no
last season with last season.
You didn't have Terry Ten Hag. You can't say that. You can't say that.
I would say because the manager was Ole. It was Cristiano was clearly the best option for us because he was banging in goals.
And they were still trying to cut him, bro.
Yeah, it's just like
that's wrong. Then that's wrong.
It's just like you can only. It's just like when you're playing a game of football, right? You can only play what's in front of you, right? If that team is injured, whatever, you can only play what's in front of you, right? If they're not that good of a team, whatever, you can't say, oh, if they had this. That's why you can't bring in Erik ten Hag to last season. But you can see that last season, right? One thing that Erik ten Hag has brought this season that wasn't there last season is that fighting spirit. That wasn't there last season. I would tell you that for a fact.
Yes.
Because Solskjaer did not have this team fighting for each other. Number two, if it was not for Ronaldo, right, we would not have made it out of the Champions League group. I will tell you that for a fact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For a fact. So that being said, without Ronaldo last season, the way we played, right,
we might not even play any European football.
I can guarantee you, we would not have made European football. We would not have made sixth position. We would have probably been eighth. I can guarantee you.
You know, eighth that is 7 gives you European Conference, which is the
Yes.
one after.
Yes.
So when I told you, like I told you before, Benz came on, when they took all Ronaldo's goals out of the Premiership and the Europa League, or the Champions League, United was supposed to be 14th in the table. 14th.
Imagine, bro. So and you're and you're saying, oh, get this guy out.
Joe, so I'm
on.
trying to see where
No,
does
I'm not saying.
where
I'm
does
not,
14th
I'm not saying
position
get him
get
out
you in
last
Europe?
season.
Does 14th get you anywhere in Europe? Let me try and think.
Okay, listen to me. Listen.
Let me tell
I'm
you
not
something,
saying,
right?
I'm not
Let-
saying get him
No,
out
let
last season.
let
we
Louis say
finish
something.
I'm saying get him
Louis.
out this season.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this, okay?
Yeah.
Because Joe, I mean, I think we agree a lot more than we disagree, and we come towards a different point. But everything that Ronaldo said was true. Everything that he said was true. Every bit of it.
Even Ten Hag.
Hold on. I don't like what he said about Ten Hag. I don't like it. And I don't think it bodes well for Ten Hag. I don't think it helps Ten Hag in any kind of way. I don't like it. But you have to remember this whole interview, it has been promoted, it has been sold as Ronaldo's truth. It's his truth. It's his life. We don't understand the personal intricacies of his relationship with Ten Hag. We don't understand his personal intricacies with the team or with the CEOs or whoever. This is his truth. This is the reality that he is living. And I think that I agree with Bems is that this message that he sent, I will accept it in all of its forms, because that it gets to the point that needed to be made, which is you have to destroy it in order for it to rebuild.
Picasso.
Exactly.
Do you call?
And he said, even starting with him, that's fine.
Yeah.
As far as
he said it.
if you're getting
Himself
get
on
rid
it.
of him, you're
It's like-
building.
Well, obviously, it started with him. What are you
It's
talking
like
about?
this. It's like this though.
He
Do
burned
you-
he set
Hold
the
on,
bridge
one
on
second.
fire.
1 second.
He fucking-
Okay.
he burned
Do you call? Listen. Do you call Aaron Judge a crybaby for wanting to leave the Yankees after reaching the milestone that he just reached? Do you call LeBron a crybaby for wanting to leave the Lakers because the organization is not working? This is the truth of these stories. Hold on. You can agree, you can disagree. And again, I'll tell you something. I don't even know the ins and outs.
You realize Aaron Judge broke the Yankees home run record last season.
And he wants to leave.
Right?
And he wants to leave. Because of the problems that revolve around the Yankees. He is their best player, and he says this isn't working for me. And people call him crazy, and some people
First of all,
but at the end of the day, my man,
that's unsubstantiated. Tim, I'm
this
gonna need you to cut
truth.
this segment out. We're gonna stricken that from the books. All right. No. We're not bringing that Astro shit over here. No. We're done with that.
Aaron Judge is a Yankee.
I know. And that's
they the
Astro
fucking champions,
energy.
bruv. H-Town, holla, boy.
You see what I mean? You see?
Okay,
See?
all right, calm down.
Yo,
H-Town with
you
that
got
one.
what, 18? You got
Calm
18
down.
more to go?
Calm
18 more to go.
down, calm down,
Catch up.
calm down. So,
Man,
where we are
fucking-
now is like what Louis said and what Benz are saying is similar. What they're saying is everything Ronaldo is saying is a fact, but they do not like how he disrespected the coach who is trying his best in the situation we currently are.
Yep.
I don't agree with it. I've never said that. Oh, what he said against Ten Hag. I just think it's like it wasn't right for him to say I don't respect him. He does, but he's not said he doesn't. It didn't say the coach doesn't know what he's doing. He's simply saying personally the guy does not respect me. I don't respect him. That's a personal thing. He's not.
It's a personal thing.
He's not criticized his credentials. He's not criticized his tactics. He's not said any of that. He did say. And I told you that I watched TalkSport this morning, and Graham Souness, who's always anti-United, even said it, defending Ronaldo, that listen, the disrespect he felt. Man, hold on. He said as a player of Ronaldo's stature, you cannot bring him on for 2 minutes to go when your team is leading 2-0. He said to do exactly what? What was the point? He said he sees that as an absolute disrespect to Ronaldo, bringing Ronaldo on 2 minutes to go. He's not a young guy trying to make a debut. He ain't Van de Beek. He's not just coming off injury.
This is
2
Graham
minutes.
Souness, man.
Okay,
Graham
my
Souness
2
saying
minutes
this.
right
So,
now.
so Bems,
Okay.
Joe,
Yeah.
2 minutes. Why would you bring Ronaldo for 2 minutes? Can you?
Okay.
I'm trying to understand what the point was.
Yeah.
Wait. Are we acting like Ronaldo wasn't being an absolute taking a
No,
piss
we're not.
from the
No,
beginning
Joe,
of
we're
the
not
transfer
saying that.
window?
That there is a
We're not
mutual
saying that. We're
respect
not
That's
saying
not
that.
what they're
has
saying.
nothing
Yo,
to
We're
do
not
with
this
saying
dude
that.
was
Okay, by
shopping
the way.
around at City.
Nah,
Why do we
Joe,
give him
Joe.
so many passes? Okay,
No,
okay,
no,
I get
no,
it.
no,
I
no,
get it.
Joe,
Come on, man.
Joe.
He-
I'm
bad
sorry.
as
Ronaldo
I'm
is
sorry.
violated so many
Joe.
times.
No,
So many
Joe,
times
I'm
he's
sorry.
violated.
I'm sorry. Joe, I'm sorry. You got to look at it. See, Joe, you cannot put Ronaldo on the same level as every other regular player. You can't. That's what you're doing.
I told you, Rio
That's what
Ferdinand
you're
said this.
doing.
I
Yo.
said, Rio
You can't do
Ferdinand,
that.
if Rio Ferdinand could say that, he said he's played with Ronaldo. He said, but he is a regular player. He said Ronaldo is on another level. So you treat those players different. This is Rio
Differently.
saying this.
Yes, but okay.
So
So,
if
Bems,
Rio
you
can
understand?
say that, who are
you
we to
understand-
disagree?
Okay, Bems, you understand the reason why you treat those players at the different levels because they bring a different level of value to the team and to the pitch. Ronaldo requires a level of respect that does not match the value he is bringing to the team and the pitch.
Okay,
And
currently,
it would
Is
undermine
yes,
Ten
no,
Hag
currently,
Is he
if he
not?
kept
No,
on
but
giving
Joe,
him that
but Joe,
respect,
but Joe,
despite the
but he has
value.
no, Joe. You are looking at it as in what he's offering right now.
yeah.
We are looking at it as what he has earned throughout his career.
Thank
He has
you.
earned the respect, bro. He has earned. See, when you have won and done what you have done for your whole career, I'm sorry, you deserve a different level of treatment. I understand that it's not right for him to walk out of his team like that. It's not right. That's not done. That is the wrong thing to do. I don't agree with that.
100%.
But in the first place, it is not right for Ten Hag to put Ronaldo in at 2 minutes to go. What is it gonna do? It's not fair. It's not right. You don't treat those players like that. You don't. So I'm sorry, Eric Ten Hag kind of invite what Eric Ten Hag's actions is what caused what Ronaldo did. If Eric Ten Hag didn't do that, Ronaldo wouldn't have done that. So I'm sorry, you just have to. I don't care. You just gotta respect Ronaldo, man. He's done so much for the game.
Okay,
He's
for
won so
Manchester
much.
United as well.
All these players.
Joe, I
Yeah.
think
Players and managers,
Joe,
right?
I think
None of them
I
can even
forget-
smell what he's done.
I think Joe, you
They
need to
can't
forget.
smell.
I think Joe forgets. Ronaldo did play for this club before. This is not his first
Yeah,
gig.
bro.
Hold on.
And I'm in desperate need to get back to that, man. I'm in desperate need to
Then you
get
gotta
back
burn
to
it
that,
down, bro.
right?
Then you
And
got to burn it down
We're never gonna get back there if
with the Glazers in
circus
charge.
keeps showing up at Old Trafford. This is like he was absolutely right as to what he was saying about the organization, the training facilities, the Glazers not being football people, not caring about football. He was perfect. And if he had just kept it, he was so close. If he had just kept it right there.
Okay,
And not talk,
but
wait,
he
we
also
haven't even
said-
started talking about Rooney yet. We haven't even started talking about Rooney.
Rooney,
No, forget Rooney. Rooney
you can see Rooney has a
nothing,
bias.
man. Rooney's
Rooney has a
nothing.
bias. Okay.
Yeah, Rooney's bias, yeah.
I now connected all the dots.
Rooney's Graham Souness
as
now?
bad
Come on,
as
man.
bad as Maguire was last season. Rooney never said one word against Maguire. One word.
Joe, what you gotta say about that, bro? Joe?
You know what I figured?
You
You
gotta say
know
about
why
that.
he never said this one word? They used the same agent.
Point made.
Agent, the same agent Rooney uses is the same agent for Maguire.
Point made.
So he's not going to say anything bad against Maguire. But it's easy to throw stones at Ronaldo, who you played and you both won titles together. Maguire ain't going to win no title. Maguire can't even win a Carabao Cup.
Joe, what you gotta say about that, man?
Joe.
I said point made. I said that was a very good point, Tim.
So he told
Yes.
Rooney, listen, we are the same age, but
Then I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way you feel, Tim, if that was the point that Ronaldo made. but he didn't talk
Okay,
about that, did he?
Okay. So Joe,
he went real
Joe,
petty.
what we're trying to get you,
because
what we're trying to
was
get
a
you to
joke.
see here, right, is to throw respect on a player, a legend, right? A legend that has won, he has won every single trophy you can think of at United. And by the way, he won the Ballon d'Or when he was United, right?
The last and only player since did
to win a Ballon d'Or. Tell me which other player has done it.
The only player who won a Ballon d'Or was George Best, Dennis Law, Bobby Charlton, 1967, 68, and 66.
What a year.
Before Ronaldo. And that's it.
No one else has won it except Ronaldo. So when you talk about a player, right, that has been there, done it, right? Yes, he's right now. Yes, we know he's not the player he used to be. It's clear. When the team now plays better without him. That's clear. There's no argument about that. But for what he has done throughout his career, he deserves a different level of respect than what a lot of people are giving him right now. That's all we're saying.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I'll give you Ten Hag shouldn't have brought him in the second minute like that. I'll give you that. I'll give you there are certain moves that the team might have made that may not have, been warranted. But at the same time, this team is progressing a certain way that we haven't before.
Yeah.
And we just need stability, bro.
Yeah,
we just need stability. It's too much noise.
I agree.
No. But yet again, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I'll say something after that. After you say this,
he definitely warrants all the respect in the world, right? But if he starts like moving a certain way because he wants to have a certain kind of position in the team, and we can't afford that because we are moving in a different direction.
Did he say he wants to have a certain position in the team, though?
He's obviously wants game time, right?
No. Let's see.
Wait.
I'll put it. I don't even think. See, this is my opinion. I'm going to say a couple things. I don't even think Ronaldo wants to play. I don't think Ronaldo is even requesting to play every single game because he knows he can't play every game. He's 37, about to be 38. There is no way he's going to play every game. He's not even asking to play every game, right? All Ronaldo was asking for was a certain level of respect, right? Meaning, one, don't call me out to put me in the game 2 minutes. Like, don't treat me like the way you would treat every other player. That's basically what he's referring to, right? Because he's earned the right not to be on everybody else's level. And then two, the reason why, okay, I'm going to ask you guys one question. What is the main reason why all this is happening? There's only one reason. There's only one set of people to blame for this whole shebang.
Starts at the top.
Glazers.
Starts at the top.
The Glazers.
The Glazers are the reason why this is all happening because he wanted to leave. He said he wanted to leave. They didn't allow him to leave. Ten Hag was okay with him leaving, but the club said, no, you got to keep him. Now, look at all what is happening because of the Glazers. And guess what? This is the same player say, okay, you didn't want me to leave. Yeah, you're treating me like shit. I'm going to mess you guys up. I'm going to tell this interview and throw everyone on the bus. The reason for all this is the Glazers. And it's the same Glazers that he's throwing out under the bus in this interview. What else do you want? Yes, we don't like what he said about Erik ten Hag. But bro, man,
it doesn't negate
it is what it is. Yeah,
nobody's saying it negates it. Nobody's saying it negates it.
It's not more important.
All we're saying is
it's not more important. It is not more important than everything that he
said.
Let
me bring that issue quickly before we go. He said the club did not show empathy for when he was about to talk about his daughter.
About that.
People also need to forget this daughter who is sick lost a twin brother who died. So twins, one died, one now had to be hospitalized. He couldn't go on tour because of that. But remember, the tours are planned 2-3 years in advance. They've signed contracts. oh, Ronaldo will be part of United. They're going to release the new white kit to make money. It's business. Then Ronaldo says, oh, all of a sudden he can't come. The club, he said the club did not show any empathy about him saying, he said they didn't even believe him that his daughter is ill. I think when you talk about those personal issues, I think that kind of takes the cake, whereby those are lines you kind of don't cross anymore.
Yeah, you don't cross that.
Absolutely
man.
right.
We,
He's absolutely right. That's all upper management and part of the Glazer issue that we all have been protesting about for years now. We all agree with that.
Because
Nobody's
it's
saying
money. Because they know Ronaldo being on that tour, yeah, they made money there. But with him on the tour, they probably would have made 3 times more because they've already calculated. You got to understand, everything is calculated. Units of how many shirts they sell, how many merchandise. It's all calculated and projected. So when they don't read that projection with him not there, they see it as, oh, a loss.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. Let's just say this thing for what it is.
I will say this now. You've all made some solid points. I really appreciate you. The only thing we've all come to agreement is what he said about Ten Hag was a bit under the belt, was a blow below the belt.
Yes.
He's still the current manager. You were still contracted to the club to say that, but we can now see he's not I mean, we don't know yet, but I doubt he's criticized his coaching system, his coaching tactics. I don't think he's criticizing that. I think he's criticizing the personal respect between two men.
Yeah.
I have played for this club and taken them to the pinnacle of European football. I left, I went to another country, I did the same. I came here, you're bringing me on for 2 minutes. That's where we leave it right there. That's the disrespect. And like what Graham Sweeney said, he said he believes the communication between Ten Hag and Ronaldo, somewhere in the middle, the agreement somewhere broke down. And Ronaldo's like, this is not what we agreed. And that's why they're at that point. He doesn't, I don't think he's disrespecting his tactics. No. He just feels the disrespect man to man. I think I've accomplished enough to be treated a bit differently from the way you're treating me right now. That's what he's saying.
Straight up.
It's that simple. If Rio Ferdinand, who played with him, could say, he himself said, we are regular players. But he is on another level. The respect should be given to players like him and Messi differently. Why do you think Barcelona always do different things for Messi than the regular? Because he is Messi. It's that simple. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Louis, you were about to say something quickly.
I was just about to say, like, that's really what it comes down to. This is a personal truth. And look, man, whatever happened between Ten Hag and Ronaldo, we might not know the full story of it. What I do know is that if Cristiano Ronaldo comes out and he says, look, man, my daughter was in the hospital and they didn't believe me. Look, the manager is also culpable. You know, if the manager said, oh, I completely understand, you need to go to the hospital, please go. And then the ownership said, no, you have to go to Asia. At what point did Erik Ten Hag publicly say, no, he's at the hospital because of his daughter? He didn't say that.
No.
He never said that, yeah.
They just said family. So if you notice during that,
Ten Hag actually made a statement. Ten Hag actually said he said no one should miss preseason. There was something like it said no one misses preseason or something like that.
And again, I think ultimately not to open up a whole nother discussion, because I think we will definitely know more come Wednesday when all
and if you take your minds back to that time, the media kept trying to say he disrespecting the club by not going on preseason tour.
It was all about Ronaldo's disrespect.
It was all about Ronaldo's disrespect.
It wasn't about what was really going on. So I think we're going to learn a lot on Wednesday. And look, I
can't wait till Wednesday, man.
At the end of the day, what we just have to remember, what we have to recognize, is that Manchester United is in a bad place.
This reminds me of.
I'm gonna watch this interview like I'm watching the movie, man.
What show is it on? What show is it on?
I'm popping the popcorn in every.
Hey, Tim, Hey Tim, what show is it on over there?
It's a show called the Piers Morgan Show. It's a TV show which Piers Morgan
What
runs.
channel is it on?
It's on what channel? Because I can catch it.
I'll send you the details of what channel it comes on. I'll send that to you via WhatsApp.
Oh,
man,
I'll get it. I'll get it because the funny thing is, this is a premiere of. This feels like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if one of you guys then when Michael Jackson did the interview with Oprah Winfrey, everybody was indoors. This
gonna get views, man. It's gonna get views
because they've sold the right. They've sold the TV. So what? Piers Morgan is so smart. So what he's done, he's dropped snippets on Sunday.
Yeah.
Drop more snippets. Drop more. So everybody's literally scrambling. Then so everybody will now want to see everything. So he's gonna bring everybody to now watch the full thing on Wednesday.
90 minutes, bro. What the hell was he saying for 90 minutes?
Anybody watch Party at Our Bar for the interview? No?
That'll be wild. That'll be wild.
That would be wild.
That would be nice.
Let's the HRA on this, bro. We should make this happen.
We should do like a fucking Zoom watch along that shit, man.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
You know, that would be nice. Is that possible?
So let me find the details for you. Let me get the details. Let me get the details for you and drop in the WhatsApp. I'm gonna get the details tonight. Okay. And
after the fact, we'll jump back on. We'll jump back on a Zoom call after maybe.
Yeah, if they had that joint in the movie theater, I would go watch it, like for real.
Hell yeah. Popcorn.
Yo.
Popcorn time.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Louis, thank you for joining us. Join us, Houston Red Army, the American Crew, Joe, Benz, thank you, the Controversial One, the Soul Man, and the Happy Man. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Joe, do your thing. We've got to go on Spotify, but this one is something that people will be interested in. On Ronaldo and United have officially divorced. We'll see it and we'll take it from all of you guys. Have a nice evening. I'll try and get the information for you guys as soon as I get it, as soon as I can get, as soon as possible. All right.
Love it.
Take care, guys. Have a nice evening.
He's hating on Ronaldo. He's putting him in his back.
Hey,
look at this guy. Get out of here, Joe.
Glory.
Hey, man. You cheated him, man. You fucked up, man. You cheated him. Come on, man.
You take it easy.
Nice one.
Yeah. Bye.